My name is Edward Turner for the City of Dallas, and thank you for joining us today for our discussion on the city's oversight of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development Consolidation Plan. Now, that's a long name, and there's a lot involved with the plan that here today to help us break down things and explain why Dallas residents and stakeholders should care is the city's Community Development Commissioner Chair, Melanie Rubin. Chair Rubin, welcome, and thank you for joining us for a talk today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be here.
So let's jump into it. First, let's go over some basics. Can you talk about why the Community Development Commissioner does, what does the Community Development Commissioner does, and why should the City of Dallas residents care about it?
Great, absolutely, thank you. So the Community Development Commission is charged with bringing home to City Council and to our City Manager what the community really needs. How do we make our communities a better place? How do we have decent, safe, and affordable housing? How do we have economic opportunities? How do we have a good living environment? And really trying to use these federal dollars that are coming to Dallas in the way that makes the most sense to Dallas residents. And it is so much more helpful to have that on the ground real experience, and that's what we try to do. So we try and use what we know and what we learn and really engage as many residents as we can to really inform this money so that it makes the most difference for us.
So these are federal dollars?
These are all federal dollars that come to the city, and then the city is charged with making a plan on how to use these all different funding streams. There's a few different funding streams that are all part of this funding that have some specific purposes on that. And then how do we really use it in the best way? And we really, again, we know what we know, but because the commission is made up of each council member appoints somebody, and so we've got 15 members from all over the city to really see what the needs are all over, and then how can we help low and moderate residents make the best of it.
Okay, so how does the Planning Commission, when it comes to the consolidation plan and the annual funds that y'all receive from HUD, how do y'all, is this like a one-time request for funds, or is this something that comes over the future over time?
So every year we are charged with making a new plan. So really kind of going out and assessing what's going on this year and how can we best use the dollars that are coming in. We do public hearings. We meet monthly, and we invite residents to come to every one of our meetings and give us public comment and tell us what's going on with them and what would be important. We also, starting in January, have these neighborhood public meetings, and we are really trying to really hear from residents. So we're trying to make it as accessible as possible. We're going to do a combination of virtual, in-person, hybrid, all kinds of meetings, because we really do want to engage public opinion. We also have surveys that are going on all the time that residents can do online or hard copy. And then we have community meetings. So we are really thirsty for residents to tell us what's important to them.
Okay, so walk us through, what does the City of Dallas have to do to qualify for these funds? And I know you explained it to the residents, but let's talk a little bit more about the qualifications.
Sure. So there's actually, within these HUD funds, it's a kind of a big name and a big organization, but there's really 4 different grants that come up through it. One is the Community Development Block Grant, which has a little bit more leeway on what kind of programs we can do. Dallas is an entitlement city, so based on our census and based on our numbers, we qualify. This is to serve low and moderate income households, and so we can do all kinds of things with child care and after school care and community courts and housing assistance and public improvement. So it's a pretty general program. We have the Home Investment Partnership Program. We have the Emergency Solutions Grant. We really try and help prevent homelessness and for those living with homelessness, as well as housing opportunities for persons living with AIDS. So some of the specific grants have some criteria, but it's really think of it as the community. What would make the community stronger?
Awesome. So when you talk about the community, what are some primary ways that the community can engage with the Community Development Commission in shaping the plan and the budget? And what are some specific programs and outreach efforts that you all encourage the community to participate in?
So we really want the residents to come to our meetings. Mostly because we'll really go over the detail of what these programs are. Starting in January, we're going to have these neighborhood meetings out in the community and online, and really just try and say a little bit more detail with what these grants are. And we want everyone to talk about what's important to them. Where are they struggling? Where would they use the help? This money is to do that, to build community. So really engage with that. We've also got a survey online. We've got a website. We don't get as much input as you would think because it's so important, and it's the money that's available. And the whole purpose is of us, our commission, is to really bring the people who care, who need something, to really elevate those issues. And the commission and city council and the city manager has been really responsive to that when we have brought them issues. So really we were trying to increase the ways for people to engage and make it not so overwhelming. There's a lot of acronyms and there's a lot of words and there's a lot of technical issues, and we're trying to break that down in a way that's more meaningful. We post it in the libraries and in all public spaces, and we're here to answer those questions and to break it down and make it real. But the bottom line is, what is happening out in the community? Where could you use help, and how can we plug in the right funds to do that?
Awesome, awesome. That makes a lot of sense to me. So what are some of these programs that currently supported by HUD Consolidation Funding Plan?
We get to do some really wonderful things in the city, and we sometimes take a tour to go and see, but it's really, lots of efforts to end homelessness, lots of housing opportunities. There's public assistance for public infrastructure, some sidewalks and things to make a neighborhood feel more like a neighborhood. Home buyer assistance for a first-time home buyer. We've got some funding that we're able to help.
I'm familiar with that.
I
have friends that have benefited from that.
And that's great.
Yes.
And repair services. We also do a program for childcare, which has been a really big issue. We heard a lot about that this last year.
It's very expensive.
It's very expensive,
Yes.
and in order to get to work, sometimes it's a necessity.
Yes.
So we've got that. We've got after-school care programs with the Parks and Rec department. We've got we get to help with community courts, which is a really important service. So really, it's a pretty broad range of services, and there's all different kinds that we get to try and narrow down and meet the greatest needs.
Right. So basically what the residents need to understand, when we start saying, hey, we can fix your home or home repairs, and we only got $1 million, or we got after school programs, we got child care programs for you all, a lot of this money is coming down from HUD, federal dollars that are paying for these programs to benefit the residents of Dallas. Would you say so?
100%. That's
Absolutely.
exactly right.
So what do you see as some of the challenges that people are typically facing, and how do you try to encourage people to be a part of the budget planning process, and what steps is the commission taking to engage the residents, especially those hard to reach residents of Dallas?
That's such a great question, because it does seem overwhelming, right? Even the name HUD,
right.
If we step back up, there's so many, it's so complicated, and it sounds like it's all happening up here, and what is this funding stream and how much money is that and what can it actually do, that it's overwhelming. And first of all, people don't even know that there is this opportunity with federal money that's coming to the city to meet community needs. So first of all, it's lack of awareness, and we're really trying to reach out. We try to do a call to all the residents that we have phone numbers on. We try post it everywhere. We're trying the public spaces. We're trying to use our council members to get out to their districts. We're really trying to get the word out through the newspaper. I mean, there's some requirements on this, but we're trying to break out of some of that and reach new people, and then really try and step back and say, yes, there's things we have to take into account as we set the budget, but the bottom line is these are the general parameters of it, and this is how it could help you, and this is how it could help your family and your friends, and come tell us where you want that. And let us help inform our city manager and our city council so that it's really going where people can benefit from. So it's really kind of taking all that technical jargon and complexity and making it real, because that's really what it's for.
Right. So really, it comes down to, these are our tax dollars, and we pay taxes. And these are federal dollars that come down to our community and that we need to utilize. And they're available for the residents of Dallas. We just need to let them know more about it. And finally, where can people learn about your public meetings and the HUD Consolidation Plan? And how can people get involved in this process?
Great. Well, thank you for asking that. We meet the first Thursday of every month.
Okay. First Thursday of every month.
First Thursday of every month at 6 o'clock. And we're kind of a fun group, and I invite everyone to come join us and let us know what's going on. We also we have a survey online. We have a website. I don't know if there's a good way if there's a way we can put up a number of the website or information, but really want to hear from you. And definitely come to these neighborhood meetings. We will post flyers and send their information out. That's really a good time where we explain a little bit more detail what the specific grants are and how they can be used. And really, your input from the residents is what makes the difference. And
Right.
we want to hear from everyone. We're trying different languages. You know, we've got translators around, so if language is a barrier, we don't want that to be. We're trying to reach our seniors who don't always know about some of these opportunities, but certainly have needs that we want to address and take care of. So we're trying to be creative of where we're going out and how we're reaching out to the residents. But it would be so much more helpful and so much richer of an experience if we could have more engagement and really invite everyone. Your opinion matters, and it's important, and it can really make a difference where these funds get used.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. As you can see, residents of Dallas, your opinion matters. These are your tax dollars. The needs of our community is really, really great, and this is an opportunity for you to express to the HUD committee on how those federal dollars can be used, your tax dollars. Chair Rubin, thank you again for your time today and for your service for the city of Dallas. It is a volunteer job, but thank you for your service. And again, you can learn more about the HUD Consolidation Plan at dallas.gov and search for Community Development Plan. Again, I'm Edward Turner, and thank you for watching, and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.